Hello, fireflies. Welcome to the Lily Lens. I am Faith, and today we are going to learn how to use color grading to make your YouTube videos more cinematic. Have you ever seen those clips like in Twilight, how it's all blue, or in Teen Wolf when they went to Mexico and it was suddenly orange, or like horrifyingly in Divergent when they left the wall even though they were in Chicago and suddenly it was the Arizona like Grand Canyon? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go scroll on Pinterest. I've already picked out some filters, but we're gonna learn how to turn those like photo filters into video filters. So I'm gonna link these pins in my video section so that you can find them for yourself, but if you do want to find anything, you can just Google. I googled ethereal photo editing and they brought me up these three. So we're going to be doing the filters we're going to be doing are called Dim Light, Angel Rose, and Sweet Night Dream. Okay, so let's go into Premiere. First thing that we're going to do is go into the color workspace. It'll just open up all the panels that you need, and if you want to look at stuff you can. And by the way, this is not about making color look realistic. This is about making color look fun. So it's color grading. So if you want to know more about how to just make things look correct, or like they are in nature or they are in reality, I'm going to link a tutorial by Premiere Gal in the description to get to know more about just specifically color, like fixing a color on a video. We're here to make things look like you're in a fairy tale, a whimsical dream, that sort of thing. Here we are. This is the color workspace. As you can see, it's basically the same workspace it just has over here in this section, the Lumetri color panel, which is what we're going to be using to doing our color grading. Yeah, so I have 3 clips here that I've already picked from Mixkit. I'm also going to link Mixkit in the description just so you know where I get all my free, easy to edit things. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put adjustment layers above all of the videos just so it'll be easier for me. It's the thing I'm going to do. But also it helps it so if you are like editing a longer video and you want a bunch of clips to have basically the same kind of color editing, then you could just, you know, drag it across the entire screen instead of having to like apply it to each individual clip. So that's our first thing. If you don't know how to make an adjustment layer, you can go, it's the new item button, and then you click adjustment layer, and it's going to ask you questions. I don't ever look at this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to do dim light on this clip in the library. So I'm sure you've seen like the auto button and how like that it does stuff. As you can see, we're focusing on this bit. This is our toolkit. So if you follow along exactly what the video says, the exposure is gonna go, you can just okay, well, not that one. You can just type. It's actually way easier than having to use the ridiculous little scroll bars. Like, they're cute and all. And as you can see in the picture, the bottom part of the instructions mention like an HSL slider. We're going to show you how that is now. So HSL is, we were in basic correction of Lumetri color. So if you close this and then you can open HSL secondary, it'll bring up these other things. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the yellow sections, because that's what it's editing, is to make it more like yellow and warm lighting. So yes, if you come down to the HSL, then we're going to click yellow because we're trying to make the whole thing like dim light, warm light. I'm probably gonna add some reds here also because it doesn't look very red here. But okay, yes. So we're gonna click yellow. It's gonna show us like the range of yellow hues. And then we're gonna bring, because it wants us to do -1.1 for the yellow, we're gonna bring it down a little bit. It's gonna do that because that's how it shows that you're changing stuff. We're gonna bring down the saturation, which is you just click on the bar and drag this down. It brings like the middle down, which brings all of the saturation down. And then we're gonna click L, which I think might be in Luma, but don't ask me, please. And we're gonna bring that down, which has more down. This has a little more down, and that's that. And that's our first, you know, adjustment. That's our first filter. Whew. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is at a beach, and this one I'm most excited for. It is Angel Rose, to learn about tinting, highlights, and shadows, which is, okay, basic correction. I'm gonna skip through all this. Anyway, so this one wants us to mess with wants us to affect the sharpen. So I'm going to show you where that is real quick. It's under the creative Lumetri color tab. So like we were basic correction earlier, we were HSL secondary later. It's under the creative tab and it's sharpen. And so they want us to sharpen by 1. So, and then right underneath that is where the tint balances are. So they want us to tint the shadows and highlights to both purple, and then the highlights to be a brighter tint. So we're gonna highlight it purple. we're just gonna drag it over to purple and do that. And then we're gonna drag the shadows over to purple, but it's gonna be like a chiller purple. And it's pink. Yes, but here is the second one. So we started out with this and then it went to this. So pink, that is Angel Rose. And then our final one is gonna be this cute little clip with her roller skating, and that one is Sweet Night Dream. So I'm gonna do all the things that I've already shown you, and then I'm gonna show you something to do with the curves. Okay, so this is just the regular like Lumetri color, just the basic color correction, and now I'm gonna show you what all the curves do. Not all of them. So these ones are boring to me, so I'm not really gonna show you them, but this is the RGB curves, which affect like the overall color of the thing. So like if I brought up this, it brings up everything's brightness. If I brought this down, it brings down everything's darkness. It brings up everything's darkness. What I'm gonna talk to you about is the hue saturation curves, because they're way more fun for me. So what they can do is they can affect specific hues or saturations. So this is hue versus saturation, which is just gonna show you like it's gonna bring up the hue of a specific color. So like say I wanted to bring down the orange, and it makes her legs look less orange and also the ground look less orange. That's less cute. Say I wanted to bring up the pinks in the sky, it would do that. Say I wanted to bring up the greens in the trees, it would do that. Hue versus hue changes the color to another color. It does this. You don't really need, you're probably not ever gonna use this to be so true. Hue versus luma increases the luminosity of a thing. So like really what in practice it just like brightens and darkens. Luma versus sat, these ones are boring to me, but it's just saturation overall. And this one, it saturates nicely, it saturates brightly, which I think is actually quite fun. Here is this with and without the filter, and I think this is the most fun. Yes, but you can do fun, cool things with color grading, and that's how you can do it, is using Pinterest tutorials. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you did enjoy the video, please leave me a like and subscribe down below, or leave me a little comment about how you're gonna do this all the time, right? Even if you won't, lie to me. Tell me you want to do this all the time, because I inspired you to make such beautiful and fun art. Watching, I will see you all next time. Have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye, lovelies.